भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठभूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। From Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9. नैतन्मनस्तव कथासु विकुण्ठनाथ सम्प्रीयते दुरितदुष्टमसाधु तीव्रम् कामातुरं भयैषणार्थम् तस्मिन् पथं तव गतिं विमृशामि दीनः. My dear Lord of the Vaikuntha planets, where there is no anxiety, mind is extremely sinful and lusty, being sometimes so-called happy and sometimes so-called. My mind is full of lamentation and fear, and it always seeks more and more money. Thus, it has become most polluted and is never satisfied in topics concerning you, and therefore most fallen and poor in such a status of life, how able to discuss activity. So Prahlad Maharaj is reflecting our situations. Hmm. Hmm. My mind is extremely sinful and lusty. Hmm. Being sometimes so-called happy, sometimes so-called distressed. So we are affected by sinful propensities and lust. Then mind is full of lamentation and fear. It always seeks more and more money. Thus it has become most polluted and never satisfied in topics. You, if we are not satisfied by hearing about the Lord, then we can understand that our mind is very, very polluted. Here Prahlad Maharaj represents himself as a common man, though he actually has nothing to do with this material world, always situated in Vaikuntha planet world. But on behalf of the fallen souls, he asks how, when his mind is always disturbed by material things, he can discuss the transcendental position of the Lord. The mind becomes sinful because we are always engaged in sinful activity. Yeah, know this that Yoga is very, very complicated, complex. Very subtly, we are involved in sin. Most active. Anything not connected with Krishna consciousness should be understood to be sinful. So directly Prabhupada says, if question came in your mind saying that, okay, what am I doing which is sinful, not sinful? Prabhupada is saying anything not connected with Krishna consciousness should be understood to be sinful. Yes. Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Because there is a perfection of surrender, giving up everything and just surrendering to. But then we also have a process of surrender, which we should begin with. Anukulyasya sankalpaha pratikulyasya vardhanam iti vishvaso gopivarnam tata atmanik arpanyo shadvida sharanagati. Hmm. But we should understand that the perfection of this surrender is that all six aspects of that Sharanagati should be practiced by us. So we should be living all six aspects, which is full surrender. And at that stage, a devotee abandons all religion. Mm, The height or the best example of devotees who abandoned all varieties of religion are the gopis, fully surrendered. Of course, when we are, Bhagavad says, when we are not, um, sometimes what happens is that we give up some aspects of religion. Um, for example, we get, you know, sometimes devotees' houses complain. It happens quickly with Matajis who are very Krishna conscious and their husbands are not. And then I get calls sometimes saying that she's doing it, she's doing too much of devotion. Now, while it is not at all bad, but what is also important is that we also continue to show the path Mahajanayana. So, like Raghunath Das Goswami was advised by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, instructed that continue your material duties without any attachment. But externally, you seem like people should feel you're attached. Very difficult, very difficult to do that. But we should do that till the time comes. The time will come when we can abandon. But even while being in the midst of our duties, we should be in this mood of complete surrender and ready to abandon it when the time comes. Not that we hold on to these things for the till we give up this body. We should be ready to give up. What is this religion? Purusha dharma, Stri dharma, mm, Grihastha dharma, everything. Right. So, but for that we have to reach a certain stage of in our devotion, and these things have to be done on the instruction of Guru, not whimsically. But that is our goal, Sarvadharman Parityajya. And only Krishna, the only pleasure of Krishna, that's all. And Krishna is saying, I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. So at least I'm saying mentally we should be in this state. Externally, we may or may not be able to. And again, like I said, when we come to that stage, it should be under the clear instructions of Guru. We should do that. As soon as one surrenders, Krishna immediately relieves one of reactions of sinful activities. Therefore, one who is not surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord should be understood to be sinful, foolish, degraded, bereft of all condition. Mam dushkritino mudaha prapyanti naradamaha maya parata gnana asuram bhavam ashritaha. So Krishna is saying in 7.15 that these people don't surrender to me. Namam dushkrutino. Dushkrutino. Chaturvida bhajante mam jana sukrutina. So the sukrutina surrender to me. Dushkrutina don't surrender. Therefore, especially in this age of Kali, mind must be cleansed, and this is possible only by the chanting of the Hare Maha Mantra. Because the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra should be chanted offenselessly. Mm. Cheto Darpanam Arjunam. He says the process of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the only method by which to cleanse the sinful mind. When the mind is completely cleansed of all sinful reactions, his duty in the human life. The mind becomes completely clean, then all the material contamination is gone. We realize that we are spirit soul and that our duty is for Krishna and nothing else. The Krishna consciousness movement is meant to educate sinful men so that they may become pious. I want people to become pious, but by simply by chanting that mantra. So we have to make an endeavor to promote chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. Mm. All these are mm, activities of preaching, and anybody can do this. How difficult is it to make people chant Hare Krishna? Of course, it is difficult, but it's not difficult to explain to them. Saying that you do this is a simple process. Because by them accepting that chanting process, and then their minds become cleansed, then they can surrender themselves to Krishna. So if you have not surrendered, that means that the mind is still contaminated. Or at least even if we don't want to, if we still don't wish to surrender, then that the mind is contaminated. This Cheto Darpana Marjanam has not happened. That means we're not chanting properly. We should chant with attention as much as possible. As much as possible. At least we should fight our mind to be attentive. Mind will go here and there, non-Krishna conscious things. Bring it back. To cleanse the heart so that one may become sober and wise. So we have to become sober and wise. Hmm. There is no value to any method other than chanting. Hmm. Prahlada has confirmed this process in previous verses. Prahlad further confirms that if one's mind is always absorbed in thought of Krishna, that very qualification will purify one and keep one purified always. Of course, this is a very, very top, very high order. Always absorbed in thought of Krishna is possible only when somebody is in love. Otherwise, it's not possible to be absorbed in thought of Krishna. We are now absorbed in thought of whatever we are in love with. Could be our body, could be our wealth, could be our possession, could be our family, could be society, could be this, could be. We are absorbed in thought. But if somebody is so advanced that he can always just be absorbed in thought of Krishna, then of course Krishna, direct touch with Krishna purifies. Of course, this is much beyond purification. Only when uh, somebody is purified, they can actually do that. It's like what comes first. To understand the Lord and His activities, one must free his mind from all contamination of the material world. And this one can simply chanting the name. Thus, one becomes free from all material bondage. Of course, this chanting we've talked about multiple times, but every day morning before we start our chanting, please remember saying that this is the only process for making progress. This is the only way we can achieve. And Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana. What is this Golokera Premadana? It's said that the when devotees in Goloka feel separation from Krishna, they sing the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. It's so exalted. It's the highest mood of ecstasy, mood of service, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we should understand saying that, we are not chanting some ordinary mantra. Chanting a mantra which is the Prema Dhana of Goloka. So the devotees there, the gopis and Radharani, they're chanting this because of their separation from, they're not able to tolerate it. And when they're not able to tolerate it, they are actually chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. because Krishna's name is not different. Krishna. So it's a exalted process. And when we are chanting the mantra, we should remember these things. There devotees are chanting because of distress of being separated from Krishna. And here we are, uh, mm, Nam Nam Akari Bodha Nija Sarvashakti Niyamita Smaranena Kala Etadashita Daivam Idrisham Iha Jani Nanuraga Gurdaivam. So we should feel, oh, I'm so unfortunate. Gurdaivam Idrisham Iha Jani Nanuraga. I don't have any raga, I don't have any attachment to the mantra. The mantra actually is full of bliss, but we can't experience it. We can't understand it because our mind is contaminated. To get to that stage, we should do sadhana of chanting. Chanting requires a sadhana. Sadhana means dedicated practice. Not that we simply chant whenever we can or however we can, without knowing how exalted this mantra, who's chanting this mantra, in what mood they're chanting the mantra. And we are so fortunate that we have got this mantra to chant. Just imagine, oh, you might think that, oh, what is this? I mean, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, everybody knows. But I see when we go to programs, yesterday we were in a program, and then there were people, we were kirtan, and then there are people who are just sitting and not opening their mouth. And when I asked some people to chant, they actually stood, got up and walked out of the program. Because they didn't want to chant. It's so painful and surprising saying that people can't open their, just take the name of Krishna. They are so unfortunate. We have to do something, all these unfortunate souls. To be able to help others, first we have to help ourselves. Which means that first we have to do our chanting properly. Only then we will make progress, and then our heart will change, then there will be compassion, and then we want to help others, and so on. Hmm. So this mind, clearly, Prahlad Maharaj is, our mind is our problem. Running behind money, lamentation, fear, happy, distress, all material, sinful, lusty, fully polluted. Be cleansed. And like I keep saying, we should not hold on to our anarthas. Not hold on to it. And we should not nurture these. We should let him go. Chant nicely and let these go. And when they're going, don't hold back. Hold on to them. Jivvai katochyuta vikarshati ma vitrupta Shishnonyatas Swagudaram Shavanam Kutaschit Granonyatas Chapaladrikwa Chakarma Shaktir Bhafya Patnya Ivageha Patim Lunanti. My dear Lord, won't fall in fall. And my position is like that of a person who has many wives, all trying to attract him in their own way. For example, the tongue is attracted to palatable dishes, the genitals to an attractive woman, and the sense of touch to contact with soft things. The belly, although filled, still wants to eat more. And the ear, not attempting to hear about you, is generally attracted to cinema songs. The sense of smell is attracted to yet another side. The restless eyes are attracted to scenes of sense gratification, and the active senses are attracted elsewhere. In this way, I'm certainly embarrassed. So this is our position, isn't it? Human form of life is meant for God realization, but this process, which begins with Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, is disturbed as long as our senses are materially attracted. See, disturbed. Very tricky situation, right? Our senses are materially attracted, we are disturbed. So our Shavanam Kirtanam is disturbed. But to get these senses out of this material attraction, attachment, we require Shavanam Kirtanam. But we're not able to do Shavanam Kirtanam because our senses are materially attracted. So we have to take shelter of devotees. Hmm. It's like somebody who has some mental problem, mental hospital, where they get continuous care. We will require such care, such attention, such help. The devotees who can give us that help, so that though we don't seem to have the strength to do focused Ramanam Kirtanam, in their association, we will start doing focused Ramanam Kirtanam, and to whatever extent we are able to do, to that extent our heart starts getting purified. And then the process is triggered. It's like, process is set rolling by that association. So then slowly, we do 5 minutes of focused chanting, hearing. Then that 5 minutes of focused chanting, hearing, which was done in association of devotees, helps us to now become cleansed another, so that we can do 10 minutes of Shramanam Kirtanam without in that 10 minutes. We are able to now do 10 minutes. That 10 minutes will create 15 minutes of Shravanam. And then it keeps growing. So that is the reason why the association with devotees is. Therefore, devotional service means purifying the senses. In the conditioned state, our senses are covered by material sense gratification. As long as one is not trained in purifying senses, one cannot become a devotee. Again, the whole importance of training. Somehow, unfortunately, devotees don't give themselves to training. This is the problem. Some devotees, they just think that I'll do whatever I want. Even if told, somehow they don't understand, they don't accept. Unless we are ready to be trained in purifying our senses, our senses will keep dragging us. So, how do we get trained? So, when we are troubled by our senses, we should go to somebody who is qualified and ask them to help us. And they'll give us ways and means by which to purify ourselves. Without this training, one cannot become a devotee. Krishna consciousness movement, therefore, we advise from the very beginning that one restrict the activities of the senses, especially the tongue, which is Thakur as most greedy and unconquerable. To stop this attraction of the tongue, one is authoritatively advised not to accept meat or similar uneatable things, not to allow the tongue to hanker to drink or smoke. Even the drinking of tea and coffee is not permitted. Similarly, the genitals must be restricted from illicit sex. Start with. Without such restraint of senses, one cannot make advancement in Krishna consciousness. Only method for controlling the senses is to chant and hear the holy name of the Lord. Otherwise, always be disturbed as a householder with more than one wife would be disturbed by them. Actually, we can understand this. If suppose a householder has more than one, is what a pitiable situation it will be. Each wife is dragging him in one direction, different direction. When this is our state, very sad situation. So the only solution is chanting Kirtanam, for which we have to be in the association of devotees. We should be ready to get trained. We should not let our false ego come in the way of this training. So then we can hope to make progress. एवं स्वकर्मपतितं भव वैतरण्यमनन्याम् अन्योन्यजन्ममरणाशनभीतभीतम् पश्यन् जनं स्वपरविग्रहवैरमैत्रम् अन्तेति प्राचर पिप्रीहि मूढमध्या. My dear Lord, you are always transcendently situated on the other side of the river of death. But because of the reactions of our own activities, we are suffering on this side. Indeed, we have fallen into this river and are repeatedly suffering the pains of birth and death and eating horrible. You now kindly look upon us, not only upon me, but also upon all the others who are suffering. By your causeless mercy and compassion, deliver us and maintain us. Because we don't seem to have our, we can't help ourselves. We don't have that strength. Prahlada is teaching us that we should pray for causeless mercy, saying that causeless, I'm not qualified, so please give me causeless mercy. Prahlada, pure Vaishnava, prays to the Lord not only for himself but for all other suffering living in. This is what we are taught. This is what Srila Prabhupada also taught us. The two classes of Vaishnavas, Bhajananandis, Gopyanandis. Bhajananandis worship the Lord only for their own personal benefit. They just do, they just engage. And the Gopyanandis try to elevate all others to Krishna consciousness so that they may be saved. So if we don't have this mood of compassion, we cannot make progress. This compassion is a mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? And Nityananda. Because that's what they came to give. To all fallen souls of Kali Yuga, they came to give the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Fools who cannot perceive repeated birth and death and other miseries of materialistic life cannot be sure of what will happen to them in their next birth. Indeed, these foolish, materially contaminated rascals manufactured an irresponsible way of life that does not consider the next life. Meaning they just think that there is nothing like next life. So just eat, sleep, enjoy, make merry. They do not know that according to one's own activities, one receives a body selected from 84 lives. These rascals have been described in Bhagavad Gita as Dushkrutino Modaha. Non-devotees, those who are not Krishna conscious, must engage in sinful activities. Must engage means they're like forced to engage. Therefore, they're mudhas, fools and rascals. They're such fools that they do not know what will happen to them in the next life. The varieties of living creatures eating abominable things, pigs eating stool, crocodiles eating all kinds of flesh, and so on. They do not realize that they themselves, because of their practice of eating all kinds of nonsense in this life, will be destined to eat the most abominable things in their next life, like a pig. A Vaishnava is always afraid of such an abominable life, and to free himself from such horrible conditions, engages himself in that. We should be afraid. We should be afraid of this material world, be afraid of Maya, of getting stuck here. Lord is compassionate to them, and therefore he appears for their benefit. God is always ready to help the fallen souls, but because they're fools and rascals, they do not want to be helped. They do not take to Krishna consciousness and abide by the instructions. They don't want help because they're fools. Therefore, although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is personally the Supreme Lord, as a devotee to preach the Krishna consciousness movement, Yare Deka Tare Kaha Krishna Padesh. One must therefore become a sincere servant of Krishna. Amar Agnay ho Guru hoy Tara ye Desh. One should become a guru and spread Krishna consciousness all over the world simply by preaching the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. That's all. Basic knowledge is what we have to give people and Hare Krishna Mama. Then they're on their own, meaning they'll make progress after that. The difficulty is to bring them, to connect with them, to give them some knowledge, to give them the process. That's why Prabhupada said that it takes, devotees have to spend gallons of blood to make a person into devotion. And we are seeing that practically. We're experiencing it. So difficult. So difficult. But this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order. So if somebody wants the special mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then you should be engaged in this activity of Yare Dekho Tare Paresh. Don't hold yourself back. Go and give that mercy. And those who can't sit on the Vyasasana and give, you can go and distribute books. But everybody has to get engaged. We have to spread this. Onvatra te khila guro bhagavan prayasa उत्तारणेस्य भवसम्भवलोपहेतोः मूढेषु वै महदनुग्रहार्थबन्धो किं तेन ते प्रियजनाननुसेवतां न. Oh my Lord, O Supreme Person embodied, original spiritual news through the entire world. What is the difficulty for you who manage the affairs of the universe? What is the difficulty in delivering the fallen souls engaged in your devotional service? You're the friend of all suffering humanity, and for great personalities, it is necessary to show mercy to the foolish. Therefore, I think that you will show your causeless mercy to persons like us. Here, the words Priyajanan Anusevatamna indicate that the Supreme Lord is very favorable to devotees who act according to the instructions of his own pure devotee, which means a Guru. He is very favorable. In other words, one must become the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. If one wants to become the servant of the Lord directly, that is not fruitful, as fruitful as engaging in the service of God's servant. This is the direction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who shows us the way to become Gopi Bhartuhu. Gopi Bhartuhu is Krishna. Padakamalayor Dasa Dasanu Dasaha. One should not be proud of becoming directly the servant of the Supreme Lord. Rather, one must seek a pure devotee, servant of the Lord, and engage oneself in the service of servant. And this process goes on even in the spiritual world. One has to serve through a devotee. The more one becomes the servant of the servant, the more one becomes perfect in devotional service. This is also the injunction of Gita. Parampara praptam rajarshyo viduhu. One can understand the signs of the Supreme spread simply by the parampara system. In this regard, Sri Narasimha Dasara Thakur says, Tera charana sevi bhaktane vas. Let me serve the lotus feet of the devotee. Hard. Tadera charana sevi. Charana sevi. Lotus feet. I want to serve the lotus feet of the devotees. Bhaktasane vas. And I want to live with devotees. Janame janame hoye abhilash. Multiple lifetimes. Lifetime after lifetime, I desire this. Following Narottama Dasa Thakur, one should aspire to be a servant of the Lord's servant life after life. Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Mita Thakura Tomara Kukura Baliya Janohum. Oh Vaishnava, please consider me your Kukura, dog. One must become the dog of a Vaishnava. What does the dog, what self-respect does a dog have? He just sold out to his master. He doesn't know anything else, actually. One must become the dog of a pure devotee, for a pure devotee can deliver Krishna. Krishna se tomar, Krishna dite paro. Krishna se tomar, Krishna is yours. Krishna dite, you can give. Is the property of his pure devotee, and if he takes shelter of a pure devotee, he can deliver Krishna very easily. Allah wants to engage in the service of a devotee, and therefore he prays to Krishna, my dear Lord, please give me shelter of your very dear devotee, so that I may engage in his service and you may then be pleased. So Krishna says in Bhakta Puja Pyadikaha, engaging in the service of my devotee is better than trying to engage in my devotion. Very simple. We don't have to break our head. Simply surrender to Guru and serve him sincerely. Another significant point in this verse is that by devotional service, Prahlada does not want to benefit alone. That praise to the Lord that all of us fallen souls in this material world may, by the grace of the engage in the service and delivered. Prabhupada is saying, all of us fallen. Grace of the Lord is not at all difficult for the Lord to bestow, and this Prahlada wants to save the whole world by serving by spirit. At least if we are not as uh, magnanimous as Prahlada to deliver the whole world, we should at least try to save uh, smaller areas of preaching that we are doing. We should we should become determined to save that area at least to start with, and then keep spreading to surrounding areas. Save the people. Save the people there. Spread Krishna consciousness. You want to go door to door. Every house should have Srila Prabhupada's book. Every house, there should be at least one devotee of Krishna. That's our goal. And just imagine how much effort is required. So there has to be widespread preaching. We need lots of people. We not need lots of devotees. This is the mood of Prahlad Maharaj. This should be our mood. People are suffering. Please see their suffering. See their suffering. Even if you don't have suffering, see their suffering and feel the pain. Oh, they're suffering so much. How can I help them? That's what Prahlad Maharaj, that's what Srila Prabhupada. Okay, I'll stop here. Any questions, comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Pranam.
Pranam Prabhu.
Prabhu, in the verse 42, there seems to be importance to serving devotees more than doing an individual devotional service.
Not individual, doing direct service to Krishna.
Direct service to Krishna. Okay, okay.
Don't
Okay,
try
Prabhu.
to serve Krishna directly.
Okay.
Serve
So,
devotees of Krishna.
okay, Prabhu.
Yeah, and then devotees of Krishna will tell you to serve Krishna. That is the beauty. That's how it works. Even in the spiritual world, that's how it works. We go to serve a particular devotee, and the devotee will say, okay, chalo, let me take you to Radha and Krishna. That's how it. And if we can't directly go to Radha and Krishna will not even look at us. Who's this intruder? Throw him out. Mm. So the only way we can get their service is when a dear associate of Radha and Krishna gives us the opportunity to serve them. That's the only way. Actually, we don't understand what is happening here. The system that our acharyas have given is a replica of the system in the spiritual world. We have to understand. Simply abiding by the system will align us to the system in the spiritual world. Now, if we are not ready to accept authority here, we are saying, why should I accept what you are saying? I know myself. We can remain in the material world because there's no place for such people in the spiritual world. And it doesn't matter how exalted or how big position we are in. But our position is dasa, 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 anudasa. Position also does not matter. Hanuman got big service, Squirrel got small service, but both of them were engaged in service only, and Lord Rama recognized both their services. So we have to surrender to it. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. We can create one more verse. Nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatiranyata. We have to take shelters. We have to surrender to it. That is why, I keep hammering this authority, accept authority, because otherwise we can't go there. We just can't go there. See, eventually we should understand. Doing a fast forward for all of you. When we come to the stage of Ragan, we have to take shelter of Raja. There's no other way. Of course, I mean, these things are very exalted topics. Don't want to expand. Don't ask a question on this. But I'm just saying that surrendering to authority has to happen. We can't remain independent. We can't remain independent. We can't just not have somebody else's hand on our head or foot on our head also. Meaning somebody is looking over us, mm, blessing us, kicking us. All that has to happen. Only then we can make progress. Otherwise, we can't. Okay. Anything else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, Mataji.
Can I share something?
Yeah, please.
Yesterday I was just listening to a lecture, Prabhu. So, like they said in London, every day they were doing Sankirtan movement on the road. And at the same time, a businessman used to walk, unattentive and disgusted, After 4 5 days, he walked up to them and he says, "What are you chanting?" In the night when I retire, I heard this Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So we never know how mercy flows. And not just doing Sankirtan on the road loudly, a person could turn over and become a devotee.
Yeah.
So that is the beauty of chanting loud.
Yeah.
And
Thank you, Mataji.
Prabhupada's movement. I thought it
Yes.
would be. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. We have to get somehow inspired to go out there, which is why I keep telling devotees saying, don't sit at home. If we are sitting, we're going to sit at home. Nobody's there to listen to us. And the problem is when we sit at home and don't go out, we become our first problem because we find it, we will struggle to make advancement. But when we go out, even if we are struggling in devotion, just that act of going out and trying to help others brings help to us automatically. So anybody who is engaged in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, he will get mercy. He will make progress. So we have to go out. We have to go out. Somehow, at least in two centers, I know that devotees are not holding back. We tell them, saying that your material life, yes, going on. Go out at least 2 to 3 days a week. Could be for half an hour, be for 1 hour, how much ever time you have. But just 3 times in a week. How difficult is it? 24 hours in a day, 24 hours into 7, 168 hours, right? 7 2 is 14. Yeah, 168 hours. In 168 hours, we are saying take out 3 hours. Just 3 hours out of 168 hours. Is it difficult? And it's going to change our devotion. It's going to change our devotional life. So don't sit at home. This is very, very important. Somehow just create some reason to go out and give mercy to. And you'll see that so many people's lives will change. Like Mataji said, somebody who might never, ever in this life, they would never have come into devotion, possibly could. So this is one good target for all of us. Apart from our weekend satsangs, whatever we do, 3 hours additionally in a week can be a good target. 3 hours of spreading mercy. And the 3 hours of spreading mercy uh, will result in us making tremendous progress. And if just that 3 hours investment, if we can't give, then our devotion will be very, very, progress will be very slow. If you want fast progress, shortcut. 3 hours investment. And it should not be like we do in Damodar, in Kartik month. You know what we do? We just do programs in one devotee's house after another devotee's house. And who are the people? It's the same set of people who keep coming in every program. Not like that. The 3 hours have to be spent to bring new people into Krishna consciousness. new, brand new. Yeah, of course, some time can be spent to also cultivate existing devotees, etc. Right? But apart from that, apart from the cultivation time, preaching time, etc., that is another 3, 4 hours, maybe 7 hours. 7 hours in a week is our investment for our own spiritual growth. By being, by spreading the mud. Okay, yeah. Anything else?
Prabhu, I would want to add something more.
Yeah.
Prabhu, like even before coming to Krishna consciousness, I used to have a Brahmin coming home.
Mm-hmm.
And he's become old, so he sends his counterpart. And they are Karam Kandis from Banaras University, top
Mm-hmm.
rankers, who
Mm-hmm.
come.
Mm-hmm.
Prabhu, like, we just, like, when they see me doing DT service or chanting, they ask me, like, he says, Krishna kaun hai? Draupadi
Shivo.
kaun hai? Mahabharat
Arey,
kya hai? Gita
बाप
kya
रे.
hai? I said, what? I mean, you've come, I mean, श्लोक ऐसे बोलते हैं प्रभु जी संस्कृत ऐसे बोलते हैं at the tip of the fingers. We don't realize how lucky we are that we know how, at least we know that chanting is essential. I mean,
Yeah.
like nothing. I mean, the root of everything is chanting. मेरे को नहीं आता है संस्कृत के श्लोक. Then now that my Prabhu is preaching them, he's given them a Bhagavad Gita. I mean, I'm astonished, Prabhu, and I'm not lying. They're
Yeah.
rank holders from Banaras University and expert in Karam Kanda.
Right. So we are so far.
And yeah, very good. And another interesting, Prabhu, I had dental problems. Going to a dentist is a Muslim. And in that pain, I was having a clicker, and I was, that when I was doing implants, I was in a lot of pain. He said, "What are you doing?" And like he got talking. He asked me to bring up Bhagavad Gita. He started reading. He's in the
Hey.
third chapter.
Hey.
Yesterday he told me, "Get me another two books. My friend's wanting." I said, "Prabhu, this I
Whoa.
won't give free." I said, "Doctor, this I won't give free. You'll have to pay me whatever you want." He said, "Surely we'll do it."
Jai.
So,
Sumantra
so
Mata Ji ki
नहीं
jai.
नहीं 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 very very
Yes.
not very good,
Yes.
but Krishna Prabhupada
Yes.
ki. I mean, it was just a clicker which made the difference. So chanting
Yeah.
is so
But
important, Prabhu. Chanting
no,
is
chanting is not so important. Speaking is important. You
no, no.
you could have been, there could have been somebody else who could also be chanting and then say, oh, he's a Muslim doctor, should I tell him anything at all? Should I just keep quiet? What will he think? But you had the heart to go and speak.
No,
I mean,
no,
this is
but
what is required. No, it's okay. You're humble. It's fine.
no,
I'm
no, it's
saying
not
that we
humble.
have to do,
Like,
but we have to do this. We have to speak. We have to speak. When the opportunity, comes, then we have to speak. I see devotees are so reluctant. That's why I keep saying people think that open your mouth. If you don't open your mouth, nobody's going to know what you're saying, what you're thinking. Right?
and then our
Amazing.
discussion got on to food. And then he being a doctor, I said, no, see, look into your teeth. You're a dentist. So probably, of course, there I couldn't argue much. But I'm very
No, it's
happy
okay.
that he took a
Bhagavad
book.
Gita,
Yeah,
he took,
yeah,
I
he took a
mean,
Bhagavad. He's
his life
reading.
is, his life is changed.
He's reading, Prabhu.
His life is changed.
No. Other point he also said, Prabhu,
Prabhu.
after reading full Bhagavad Gita, then I'll come with discussion with Kenam actually. Yeah,
ठीक है, no problem, no problem. It's like, it's like that. This one saying that we are not going to take the name of Krishna. We are not going to take the name of Krishna, and in doing that, they're taking the name of Krishna. It's like that. If his even if his mood is to come and argue on Shastra, still he is reading Bhagavad Gita. So
then
what
his
else?
then his wife asked why we
Hmm.
should read in Ramzan Ramzan Bhagavad Gita. Then Sumantra told her, Bhagavad Gita is as good as Quran. You don't worry, Kanam, you
Yeah.
are not doing offenses actually, Kanam.
Yes. Quran has two parts.
Yeah.
Nivritti and Pravritti. We are only, Bhagavad Gita is giving us the highest goal of Nivritti.
Pleasure.
Goal of Nivritti Marga. Pravritti Marga is to go engage in sense gratification. Nivritti Marga is to go away from it. And perfection of Nivritti is bhakti. So you're getting the essence of it.
And he's reading in Ramzan. That is more powerful actually. I can feel
Of
that
course.
way.
For them, it might be important. For us, Ramzan is
Yeah,
nothing
okay.
for us,
For
right?
them it is
Yeah.
very important actually.
Yeah. For us,
Whole day fasting and reading Bhagavad Gita.
yeah,
It is
good austerity. Austerity, is doing with austerity. So which is good.
Yes.
Jai. Jai.
Thank
Sumandra
you.
Mataji ki jai. Jai.
I,
I'm going to say,
I don't do
I'm going to
anything.
tell this now example in so many other classes. How a
I
dentist,
should have,
how
it
a
was,
dentist Muslim got a Bhagavad Gita. No, it's inspiring. It's inspiring, Mataji. It's not about, we need, right? Amongst the devotees, we need such a.
and when he's going to come into discussion, Prabhuji, I have your name on top because I'm going to,
No,
like,
no.
he's going to do it sooner or later with me.
Yeah,
He is.
sure.
Like it.
We will do whatever we
Thank,
can. Yeah,
yes,
they're more
Prabhu. Thank
qualified,
you,
but
Prabhu.
yeah, if you engage me in that service, I'm happy.
No, Prabhu.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hare
Rohini
Krishna.
Mataji. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Pranam.
Hare Krishna,
Rohini.
Prabhu, Pranam.
Yeah, Pranam.
So how do we engage those 3 hours, Prabhu? Like book distribution or go to the
Yeah,
people?
book
Like
distribution, book distribution. So we've started one more program actually in both our centers. We're calling it Path to Happiness. Now, what
sorry,
we are
Prabhu?
doing,
Path to
we
happiness.
Path
Okay.
to Happiness. Yeah, we're
Mhm.
registering people into this program. Now, what we are doing is because people, one is book distribution, and when we distribute books, also we are seeing that people are not reading much. So what we
Yes.
are creating, we are creating a sequence of 90 videos on
Okay.
various topics of interest people
Okay.
from
It's in
Bhagavad
English,
Gita,
Prabhu, or Kannada?
English, Kannada, Hindi, 3 languages. We're actually in the process of recording these. So what we are doing is we are sending 2 videos in a week.
Okay.
So we want to do this in conjunction with book distribution. So we distribute a book to somebody. It could be a small book. It could be anything, right? And we have this. We enroll them to this program and add them to WhatsApp.
Okay.
And then twice a week we are now sending the 8 to 10 minute videos, not more. 8 to 10 minutes. That's all, right?
Okay.
No heavy hammering philosophy, right? Just
Right.
for them to
Right.
understand, and eventually it'll make an impact. It'll make the required impact.
Right.
So Tuesdays and Saturday the videos are sent, and then the subsequent day there is a quiz, maybe 3 to 5 questions,
Okay.
and encouraging them to hear and then answer.
Right.
And we want to try and take this viral, right? So we're just testing. So for the first, and it's a monthly program in the sense that every month there's going to be a new batch, and that batch
Okay.
will go on for like 6-8 months. The batch will go on online, and it just after some time there will be online chanting, like that. So then after time we're going to invite them to wherever they are, go to nearby centers, ISKCON
Right.
or satsang or attend kirtan, like this. So, and this requires going and talking to people, right? So be out there wherever people are, and give them books. And if somebody doesn't want to book, register and enroll them for the program. Then in the middle, they'll only say, okay, we keep saying these things are there in Bhagavad Gita. And people say, okay,
Right.
give me Bhagavad Gita,
Right.
right? In fact, yeah, so this book distribution is, like last week, we had in Marathon, we had distributed these Gita Sara. We had written this
Yes,
small
Prabhu.
books. And just last week, Anukul Prabhu got a call from somebody who was actually in a FICC. What is that? Federation of whatever, some commerce, something blah. She had called Prabhu saying that I want this book. Apparently, her 80-year-old mother has read it 4 to 5 times and she's harping about it. And then she called.
Wow.
And now our devotees are going to meet that person because that person seems like some senior person in
Very
some
good.
organization. And then she's
Okay.
interested. Then through her, then we want to distribute these
Right.
books, bring people. So somehow we have to keep trying. And if we are
Right.
sincerely trying, then Krishna will open doors.
Right. And what are the good places, Prabhu? Schools or temples or marts?
Normally we do now temples. Now we are doing door to door. We are also doing malls. Also, we did in Marathon. So temples, mostly it's going to be temples. And you of course, if you're doing youth preaching, then it's colleges.
Right.
Right. So yeah, but I mean, literally, I'm saying for these programs now, all these programs can go across age groups. It doesn't matter,
Right.
right? It just depends on what your inclination is. You go there, right?
Right.
But the most productive places are obviously temples, and we see that even door to door, actually, devotees are able to enroll so many people. We have what overall about across all our groups must be 400, 300, 400 people for the first batch of devotees have
Okay.
enrolled. And yeah, 200 people,
So we
about
have to tell them
250.
like, this like every week we are going to send 2, 3 videos like that, and we can
Yeah,
just
yeah. There is a short video I'll send across in the group, which
sure,
is like
Prabhu.
the teaser, which is the pitch actually, which is the pitch
Right.
for this.
We can also implement here, right?
Yeah, yeah, you can implement anywhere. That's the whole idea, and that's why we are doing in 3 languages. Of course, I'll be happy if other devotees can translate these into, other languages, Telugu and Tamil
Absolutely.
and blah blah. I don't know, right? Whatever languages are required, we have the content. Written content is available. You can take the written content and translate it
Sure.
into your local language. And the idea is that we've been trying to preach to so many people, relatives and all that, who don't open up, right? So now it is
Yeah.
silent, and we're not saying anything, just we're just sending videos, right?
Right.
So somehow, and even if they hear 10 seconds, 50 seconds, 1 minute of that video, they'll get some benefit,
Right.
right? And so we want to spread it, yeah, as wide
Got
as
it.
possible.
Actually, I had a thought like, record meaning of each chapter with the pictures and make a video of it. And then, it's easy for people to, go through
That's
the.
all. These videos are very like what they can, what topics interest them,
Mm-hmm.
and in a way that it
Oh,
can be easily.
like in general topic.
Mm. Yeah, general also. For example, why is there stress in life? This.
Okay.
But of
Right.
course, initially we are building the foundation with who am I and body, mind, soul, all these kind of basics, happiness, distress, karma. So we're building the foundation, and then once the foundation is built, then we will pick up very specific topics which are relevant to people, saying that how do I get over addiction, for example, things like
Mm-hmm.
it. So which
Right.
is relevant to different types of people. Anyway, we are trying. We don't know, but yeah, some of us are daily engaged in. Uh, yeah, we have a small. We set up a small studio in
Oh,
our
okay.
Ulimo Center to take
Oh,
quality
you're
videos.
practically recording from, devotees will
Yeah.
speak and you record and then say, share.
Yes.
Okay. Very nice, bro. All the best.
Jai. Yeah.
And I wanted to share one more thing about, that my Mataji was sharing about, she distributed Bhagavad Gita, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, Hamsi also, like, she distributed to one of the Muslim, but luckily
Mm.
he was also, like, studied Bhagavad Gita slokas when he was a boy. I hope he is
Hmm.
studying. I have to follow up
Yeah.
with
Good.
him.
Yeah. 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 So yeah, nice. The children, if from this age if they're trained to do this, then we don't have to worry about their futures. Nice,
Okay,
great.
bro.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you all for your time. We'll close here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Prabhupada ki jai, Vancha Kalpataru. Namo Namo Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Samveta Bhagavatam ki jai. Please remember 3 hours a week. That's all our personal target. 3 hours a week. Hare Krishna.